Hello and welcome back to Europe 1100, and we are here once more in this wonderful siege. And I'm at 13% HP, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit of time before we can actually make our way in there. Anyway, hopefully we're not gonna get attacked by a surprisingly strong army. It has happened multiple times so far. And also, we can only cross our fingers about the starvation mechanic too. As you can see, there's a bunch of people here. These are both caravans as far as I'm aware. Yeah, so we don't have to worry about those forces. And we can hopefully start increasing our influence a little bit more here as well. Anyway. Oh, he actually leveled? Really? Okay, that's interesting. Usually my caravans just don't level up, or very, very rarely level up. So it's very, very surprising. That he was able to do that. Anyway, we did get to 226 in riding, if you can believe that. That's pretty cool. And we can now actually go for something like this. For example, a minus 50% escape chance for prisoners in our party. That is, in my opinion, one of the greatest things that we can possibly take. Because if you're obviously wanting to wage war against a faction, you want to make sure that they're not gonna, I mean, that's if you're not letting them go for charm skill, of course, but you're gonna you're gonna want to make sure that their vassals are not running around and being able to do whatever they want. So it's pretty important that we do that. Anyway, I'm thinking we might go for Veterans Respect, but I'm not sure whether this is really useful, because most of the time I'm probably not going to be rescuing bandit troops anyway, so probably not the best idea. So I'm thinking maybe a 20% increase with morale from victories. Sounds like a decent idea anyway, so we'll just go for that, and then we'll just let it run and we'll see what happens here. So 1 day left on the food, and hopefully we'll then be able to win as we go in here, and maybe it's gonna actually impact us. Is it actually? Yeah, there we go. It is actually starting to have some kind of impact on the opponent, and hopefully, wow, they're only losing 20 every day or so, or every half a day or something like that. That's not that fast. Not that fast. Anyway, we'll just continue to go in, and there's only 195 now. Obviously, we did attempt to besiege this in the previous episode, and it didn't go so well. No, it didn't go so well. Surprisingly enough, I thought to myself, we're easily going to win this beforehand. I thought, yeah, we're definitely going to win this. But no, it actually turned out to be much more difficult than anticipated. And I'm not sure why that was. I don't know. Maybe my forces were just not well prepared. Maybe I did not decide to destroy the catapults initially. That could have, that probably makes all the difference in the world, to be honest, because the AI is very good at using catapults. Nice. Oh, I need to get her a much better polearm. I'm very sorry, Martha. You really do not have a very good polearm at all, and I'm consistently cringing internally whenever I see her running around with this extremely lengthy one in a infantry-based situation. It's just really, really awful, isn't it? It is just terrible, because now I'm going to have these kinds of situations as well. Look at how unwieldy this thing is. It's so easy for people to block it as well, so yeah, it's really not the best idea. I should really have like a Manavlion or something along those lines. That would really make much more sense, but you know me, I generally don't prepare too well about these kinds of things. I would love to be able to get a much better polearm, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. So after we achieve victory here, which is going to be hopeful in a couple of moments, I'm going to head on into the smithy, and we'll see if we can maybe create something relatively decent. Well, I'm actually kind of surprised that not many of them managed to escape either, but I suppose that is just because most of these fellows are indeed, just militia, because if they're just militia, it's going to be, well, yeah, I wouldn't say so much easier, but I would definitely say it is a lot easier for us to do that. Oh, what do we have going on here? Decreased melee attack damage taken. That actually seems like a pretty cool banner. Maybe we want to go for someone else here. Maybe we want to have someone else use that. Everyone is using a banner, actually. Increased damage against mounted troops. I don't think that's very useful, so we're just going to do this instead. Urian, you will be taking over something, and well, I'm not entirely sure what he's going to be doing, actually, but hopefully he's going to do a relatively good job with this new banner here. And yeah, we can now show some mercy. These guys are all going to not very much appreciate that. Oh, actually, someone did appreciate that, surprisingly enough. Gravina? Who is Gravina? I have no idea. Let me have a look. Gravina is the clan from... Ah, okay, interesting. Federico is the fellow that is the clan leader of Gravina, which is really interesting. I can't say I've ever really... I think we've seen him around like once before. He only has one castle under his command, which is fine to be expected, of course, considering we are a small faction. Anyway, let's go on into the smithy. I haven't forgotten. Yes, I know. It's a wonder. It's a wonder that I haven't forgotten about making her a better polearm. And, oh, that is, yeah, it's a bit of a spanner in the works, isn't it? All right, yeah, that's not that great. Oh, actually, you know what? Wait a minute. Maybe we can actually do something here? Oh, I need 2 hardwood to be able to... Oh, wow. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, yeah. Not going to be able to do anything then. I've spent all my charcoal, so that's really going to make a huge difference here. I guess I will just wait here for a little bit of time. There is a relatively large army. Well, not that large, but a decently sized army outside here. And we're going to see if we can maybe take them down. There is another person over here. Roger II is here himself, of course, as he is. And we're just going to take a couple of things here. Just going to take tier 4s as much as I can get my hands on, pretty much. All right, there we go. So here's the thing. Do we have a hardwood village nearby? Something tells me no. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm kind of hoping that the caravans... Hey guys, can you actually just, you know, either go away or actually start putting goods into my new town here? Because, I mean, this is technically not my town. But I am on the ticket, surprisingly enough. Look at that. I could literally vote for myself, but unfortunately that's not really going to work. So we're going to have to give it to someone else. And I'm going to give it to, I think Adriana, I think is probably going to be a pretty decent bet here because she has very low relation with us at the moment. And it would probably make sense for us to get a little bit more with her. There you go. We've got plus 26 now, which is, I suppose, pretty decent. Because here's the thing. If we are unable to make our own companions relatively sufficient vassals in the times to come, because obviously we are going to be creating our own faction, but here's the thing. Obviously, we are going to need some kind of backup. And maybe, just maybe, that backup is going to be in the form of the Sicilian vassals in and around this area. Maybe... if we can get a significant amount of relation with some of these people and we have a significant amount of money within our faction itself and maybe a decent amount of, I don't know, a decent amount of territory and, you know, troop strength and stuff like that, maybe it's going to be pretty, you know, lucrative for them to join us. You know, maybe that, you know, maybe that would work. I don't know. It's very much up in the air at the moment about that, but I'm kind of hopeful, you know. I'm kind of a little bit, well, just hopeful, because I don't really know how it's going to work. Anyway, we're just going to go for vigor ×2, and then social and cunning is going to be boosted up for one of our children right there. We've got 3 children actually, which is quite funny. And yeah, otherwise, oh, I actually did something really stupid here. Did not place these in the reserves. Oh well, never mind. This one's also getting absolutely murdered at the moment. And yeah, I gotta say, governors solving the issues, absolutely wonderful mod. Absolutely wonderful mod. Really cannot believe that I was doing without that this entire time. This is the only playthrough that I've actually used that in. And I gotta say, it is a lifesaver. It does so much work for you without you even having to do anything. And obviously, it very much depends on your governor's, you know, capabilities. They do need to be actually pretty decent at what they do. But you can see here, for example, wait a minute. Oh, I thought that was actually another task that he just completed. Ah, there we go. Yeah, he just completed this task right here. Has resolved, gang needs recruits. That's actually pretty funny. And he's leveling up his leadership skill, as you can see right there, which is pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, hopefully he's going to be continuing to do a good job. And we have taken down the walls, and the garrison is completely destroyed. They do not have any catapults or anything like that, so we're just going to move straight on in. And as I said, I would have loved to have been able to create a polearm here, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. It is literally just because I don't have any hardwood, and I don't have any charcoal to be able to smelt the things in my inventory to provide me with hardwood. So that just goes to show, note to self, make sure that you have some charcoal in your inventory at all times, even if you're not really going to be doing any smithing for a very long time. Ow. Ah. Isn't that a classic, you know? I'm just like, oh yes, I'm just gonna hit him with my thrown weapons, and then it turns out that I just completely miss and then get shot myself. That always tends to happen, doesn't it? Oh, hello. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of here. Let's tell my forces to charge in. Just gonna get my shield out. This shield's actually not entirely bad. It's actually a pretty good one, so we should be completely fine to extricate ourselves from the situation, and then we shouldn't die, hopefully. Yeah. And obviously now that I'm learning a little bit more about manipulating my own AI troops to charge in, because obviously usually, and this is like a big deal here, because usually I was under the impression that doing a, you know, auto-delegate, basically just allowing your AI friends to do whatever they want to do, usually that's a really good way to go. And they're actually very effective at doing whatever they need to do. I'm just going to jump off here, but I think I'm going to die. Ooh, close. Alright, I'm probably going to get killed by some archer or another. But, yeah. Anyway, the point is, getting off topic. The auto-delegate usually takes care of business really, really nicely, because of course, it allows them to use their siege equipment. It allows them to do whatever they need to do, you know, using the ladders, using the siege towers, using the battering rams, and so on. And even the trebuchets and the catapults to a lesser extent. And that's great. You know, that's absolutely wonderful. I'm going to get shot and killed here, maybe. Oh, maybe not, maybe not. I was actually able to leave before I got absolutely pincushioned. Yeah, I'm just going to wait here for a little bit of time. Just let my forces do that. Oh, hello there, sir. You're trying to sneak up on me. How dare you? That is not going to work. Not this time, at least. Anyway. And now that's the point. Now I'm learning that it's actually a much better idea for us to just charge our units in if, and this is a big caveat here, if the walls are down. If the walls are down, we have a much greater chance of just being able to achieve victory just through sheer brute force, because obviously we don't want people standing at the back on the trebuchets or manning the battering rams or pushing the siege towers or anything like that. We want every single person to come and assist us, and that's what we're trying to do. That's the reason why actually implementing a charge order when the walls are down is so much more powerful than you might expect. And maybe that's not the case for you, you know, but from what I've been experiencing right here, it is so much better for our success. Anyway, let's have a look here. 1 persuasion success required against characters. No. Yeah, we're going to take Natural Leader, of course. Natural Leader is definitely going to be what we'll go for here. I don't know why. Okay, now here's the question here. Has anyone actually taken Morale Leader? Because a -1 persuasion success in the, you know, conversation minigame with your own culture. Has anyone actually used this to good effect? Because from my perspective, you're always looking to persuade people of a different faction, right? Of a different faction, of a different culture. I don't see the point in having the ability to persuade people of your own culture a lot easier. I don't really understand why that would be the case. Unless you want to marry someone that is of your culture, of course, and you don't want to go further afield. You know, for example, if you're a Botanian and you want to marry a Sturgian or whatever, vice versa, or someone else, then obviously this is not going to come in handy. And Natural Leader is obviously a much better idea, but I'm talking about in general here as well, because there are a number of different uses for Natural Leader too. Because, for example, when you get into a barter situation, let's say you have everything has a price and you want to barter with someone, usually they're going to be of a different culture, unless you're dealing with a defector of some kind. And in which case, that's probably, well, maybe that's not going to be that useful for you, you know. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like it really just makes so much sense to go for natural leader in comparison. I don't know. Maybe someone has a use case for the other thing, and you can let me know, but I don't know. You don't have to, obviously, but I'm just saying, I personally think natural leader is just the default to go for. I think it is just so incredibly powerful. It really is. Okay, so here we go. We'll just take a bunch of food, because we really do not have that much of it, and we can now vote for the owner here. This is going to be Adriana once again. I think we'll probably just continue voting for her for the moment, because we are going to get a pretty significant amount of charm skill from this. And we also need to make sure that we are schmoozing a little bit with Roger II. Not too much, but quite a bit, because if we do end up leaving his faction, he's going to not be too pleased about that. Also, I'm not going to be taking public speaker here. The main reason why I will not take public speaker is because I have found out, or at least it seems to be the case, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to be the case in my previous efforts to gain as much renown as possible in the shortest time as possible, that public speaker does not stack with famous commander. There's famous commander. As you can see, it has a plus 50% renown gain from battles, and if you were to take public speaker, it doesn't give you 80%, as far as I'm aware. When, in my opinion, it should. But as far as I can tell, it only gives you one or the other. So that's the reason why I'm probably going to take Parade. Also, Parade is actually really, really good for pretty much just boosting up any loyalty at all, and it could be pretty useful for me. I can always respec this if I so desire anyway, so it's not that big a deal if we want to change. Anyway, we're going to move on. We still have a pretty significant army under our command. And hopefully... Oh, hello! Okay, what are you doing here? There's a lot of people right here. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Just gonna get some people persuaded to join us. There we go. And, okay, this is gonna be a little bit... maybe a little bit problematic. I'm not entirely sure. How fast are they moving? 4.5. We're moving so incredibly slow just because we have so many people in our army right now. Maybe we can actually get them somehow? I have a bad... Oh, no, we got him. We got him. Okay, that's actually kind of crazy. Okay, yeah, we're just going to literally just go straight on in for the auto-resolve. There doesn't seem... personally, there is no point in us going anywhere else. It's, you know, going into a manual battle right here, not really going to really, you know, give us anything at all. I mean, it is obviously going to allow me to level up Martha, but she mostly has maxed out stats anyway in most of her things. And if I wanted to go for more polearm skill... well, it's fine, you know. I'm not expecting to get to 275 tomorrow. You know, it's going to take me a little bit longer than that. Anyway, there is 952 people in here. Whoa, okay, that's actually kind of crazy. Not sure if I'm even going to be able to do this, but we will try, because we have just eliminated one of their larger armies. And maybe it's gonna work out really, really well. And you've got to bear in mind that while this is happening, all of our caravans are continuing to run around. That is one of the things that I am so incredibly thankful for. And that's the reason why, as I say, you know, in the previous episode I said, you know what, it really needs to be the case in the base game that the caravans do provide you with trade experience. I think that's just so incredibly useful, because it's providing you that additional efficiency where normally you wouldn't have it. Normally you'd have to do all that busy work yourself, and it would be extremely difficult to make headway without having to spend a significant amount of time investment into it. Obviously, if you want to roleplay as a merchant, then by all means. I actually find that a super, super fun experience. I love the trading system in games like this. As I've said before, had a whale of a time in, I believe someone actually mentioned the name of the Flash game that I used to play. I don't even know how long ago. It was definitely not 10 years ago. It was more than 10 years ago, probably like 15 years ago or something like that. It was called Frontier. It was called Frontier. And basically you, you know, create your little character, and you then have like these land ships. They're kind of like land ships, and you travel around the territory, the map, and you know, buy things in certain places for a really cheap price when you're first initially starting out, of course. You're not going to have that much money, so you're going to have to make some smart decisions. And then along the way, you're going to have the ability to fight. And obviously you're going to have combatants that are hired by you. You're going to have mercenaries and guards and things like that. And then when you get to your destination, you can sell all these things and you can try to make a profit, you know, further on down the line. And there are obviously random events and stuff like that that tends to happen too. Anyway, we've taken down the walls. We need to destroy that last catapult. There we go. We did it. And now there are only... Why is there only 338? Did all the people leave? Did all the people actually leave? I have no food, by the way. I only have 7 units worth of food remaining. This is really bad, because the worst thing about this is that we are starving out this town, and now it has no food for me to replenish my own stores. So this is going to be really, really harsh, and we're going to have to very quickly after this run over to, I don't know, some nearby village or whatever, and we're just going to have to say, I will pay you 1 million gold if you give me 2 bags of grain. And then they will say, oh yes, here you are. And they are now millionaires. And yeah, that's the kind of situation that is about to transpire after this. Oh yeah, I actually do need to tell my people to charge in, don't I? Yeah, and I'm absolutely getting wrecked by these... Oh, that was a nice hit. Wow, that's the first time I've actually seen the trebuchet be somewhat useful in the actual battle itself. Well, one of the first times at least. Yeah, this is going to be pretty harsh. I don't even know... Do you think we can win this? Do you think we can actually win this? I'm actually thinking that right now that maybe we are not even able to. Huh. Okay, well, I'm just going to bring out my my polearm here because these guys are ripe for the picking. Hopefully. Ah, there we go. Got him. Nice, nice, nice slash, nice slash. This is where these kinds of polearms are absolutely amazing. If you can stay at range... Well, okay, well, there's not much more for me to say about that, apart from the fact that that was entirely expected. Of course. Entirely expected. So, yeah, anyway, this is obviously going to be a pretty simple fight for us anyway, but yeah, anyway, using a polearm at... Well, at that reach, at that range, especially when it's a large, lengthy one, really makes a huge difference. Because you can just get so many really, really easy kills because you don't really have to worry about how much damage you're dealing. Because most of the damage you're dealing is going to be a fatal blow. And you can just swing it. And most of the time you're going to get a kill no matter what. Doesn't matter about your speed. Doesn't matter about your angles or anything like that. You're going to be completely fine. Okay, so now we have a bowman here. I might actually be able to get some archery gameplay. That would be pretty fun. It's been a while since I've actually used a bow. Hello there, sir. Oh, wow, that was very, very embarrassing for me. Okay, let's not focus on that. Oh, hello there, sirs. I will be shooting you in the back like the honorable fellow I am. There we go. Yes, absolutely wonderful. My fellow right now is called the Fish, so I'm not sure how honorable he can be, but there you go. That's actually wonderful right there. Very nice to see that we are still relatively decent at using a bow. Let's not talk about that previous shot that I made at the very beginning. Anyway, we can we can hopefully achieve victory here. I don't think there are any other enemies. I think they're mostly all dead or running away. And that is it. There you go. And barely any of them actually managed to escape as well, which is very nice. So there we have it. We've now taken another town. And this is indeed a very, very big deal. Because if we can actually eliminate this entire faction, and then we can, you know, maybe defect away after the fact, then we're going to have a potential situation for us to come over here if our town comes under siege by the Sicilians, you know, with a significant force. Because let's say they come at us with, I don't know, 1,000? I don't know. I'm not sure if they're going to come at us with 1,000 or anything like that. I actually need to move because I am about to just get absolutely murdered by food situation. So I'm going to need to get over to the fish. Let's go, 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 quick. Quick, before we have to eat. There we go. Okay, fantastic. That was, oh, they've got a lot, and I'm spending 7,000 on this. That's absolutely crazy. But yeah, now at least we have 274, which is exactly what we need. And let's pick the owner, shall we? All right, so we can give this to Roger II, which I think, oh no, actually this is not Roger II. Can I actually? No, I still can't vote for myself, unfortunately. Don't have any support. Surprisingly enough, I don't have any support. What's going on with that? That's really weird. Anyway, I'm just going to continue increasing my relation with these people. I personally feel like if I support one of these vassals, that I should get a little bit of relation with the other vassals that are also supporting them. I feel like I should get, like, I don't know, a quarter of the same support, or should we say a quarter of the same relation, or something along those lines. I think that would be a pretty cool idea. But whatever the case, anyway, let's just buy some more food here. We kind of need it, don't we? And we do have some more upgrades to make too. Alright, so look at this. We have completely eaten into the Sultanate, and there's only, what, 3 fiefs remaining, and there's even, there is a town still remaining. I'm not sure if we want to, do we want to fight the town? Do we want to fight the town? Yeah, I think we kind of do, don't we? Yeah, I think we kind of do. Because here's the thing. If we do decide to take the town, they're going to have extremely small chances of us, well, of them being able to defend against us. And so I'm kind of thinking, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. And let's just have a look. See here. How many do they have? They have 811. But here's the thing. Last time we went in and there were 900 people or something like that. And then very quickly they seem to disperse. They seem to run away. And that seems to be happening here this time as well. Well, I guess that's good. I guess that's good for me. Anyway, we're almost at 250 in trade. Very much hoping that we'll be able to get to 300 relatively soon. Obviously, I'm just going to have to let the game run at some point, I suppose. Allow all my caravans to do their thing, and then hopefully we'll be able to get to the 300 that we need. And, yeah, otherwise, apart from that, talking about trade skill, I'm hopeful that when you deal with the new workshops and the new warehouses, should we say the new warehouses, because warehouses are a new feature in the next patch of Bannerlord 1.2, you know, when dealing with that, it would actually be a really cool idea if that would give you trade skill. I don't know whether it does, because obviously I haven't tested it. I haven't played the next patch just yet. But that would be an exceptional difference. Because if it gives you like a lump sum or a chunk of trade skill when you put some goods in there, I think that would be an absolutely wonderful change. Because that would make trading in the base game just that much more lucrative. And well, for trade skill itself, it would be crucial. Because as it stands, as I say, you're going to need to do so much work to be able to make that get to 300. It's going to be very difficult. Anyway, unfortunately, I'm not actually going to be the commander of this particular siege, so I'm going to have to actually leave the siege and then go and help Roger II. And is he now going in? Yes, I believe he is. So that's exactly what we're going to do. A bit of a janky way of doing it, but that is just purely for the fact that he has. How does he have a larger army, by the way? I didn't think he had a larger army. Maybe it's just because he is indeed the liege of the entire faction. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? Oh well, never mind. Anyway, yeah, as I say, after we have maybe taken this town, I'm going to check the marketplace. Maybe they have a bunch of hardwood there. Maybe I'm going to be able to get something really, really good, and then we'll be able to actually create a polearm that can be somewhat useful in these situations. Because as it stands right now, obviously this is the situation that I'm talking about. This would be a fantastic situation for me to be in if I had a slightly shorter polearm, because it would just make things so easy. I could just do swivel attacks, you know, basically just you know how I do, right? You know how I do whenever I'm running away from someone and I have a decent amount of athletic skill, which I don't at the moment. My athletic skill is actually pretty terrible with Martha, unfortunately. She doesn't have a huge amount of points in athletics, so she does tend to move quite a bit slower than, for example, Borgar would have at this point. But, nevertheless, you know how it is when I'm getting chased and I have to do like a, you know, jump and slash behind me. It's extremely difficult to make that work with this particular weapon, because it is just so long. You know, it's an absolutely perfect weapon for cavalry-based gameplay, but for anything other than that, it's going to be extremely unwieldy, as you might expect. And, can we get to 100? Can we get to 100 athletics? We might be able to. Let's just get a couple of kills here. If I can. There we go. There's the 100 athletics skill point. Wonderful. And, I mean, this is the point. Maybe I wouldn't be able to get as many one-hit kills, but it would definitely improve my overall attack speed. That's the thing. So, very much hoping that we'll be able to do that. And yeah, she's just very, very slow on her feet, unfortunately. She's using an extremely heavy armor set as well, as far as I'm aware, so it is definitely going to make a big difference. As someone actually rightly pointed out, the form-fitting armor perk is actually something that is very, very useful. I'm not sure whether she has that at the moment. It doesn't feel like it, but basically what that does is that reduces the overall weight of your armor by 15%, which can have a significant impact on your overall movement speed. And that's something that I've used in the past myself with movement-based characters. For example, the Duelist. This is obviously one of those series that I'm going to consistently recommend that you check out, because it is one of those series that I absolutely loved. It was such a different style of gameplay for me, because I restricted myself by not using mount, so I wasn't using a horse. I was also not using a shield, so I was using, just well, I basically had no shield. I had no ranged weapons either, by the way, so no bow, no thrown weapons, no nothing. And I also refused to use two-handed weapons. So where does that leave me? Well, I'm using just one-handed in that particular series, and I absolutely loved it. It was such an incredibly fun experience, and definitely something that I would highly recommend checking out if you haven't seen it already. And it definitely goes to show just how effective a movement speed-based build can actually be. And that's one of those things that, you don't really see it that often, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Anyway, we're going to go over here and see if I can maybe do something now. There we go. I finally have the ability to now smelt some of these things. Can we get some more that actually provide me with hardwood? Yeah, a little bit. Not much, unfortunately. Kind of hoping for a little bit more. No, we're not getting that much more. Yeah, well, this should be enough, all right? This should be enough. So let's have a look-see here. So two-handed polearm. What do we want to go for? As you can see, I've actually unlocked pretty much every single polearm end that we can use. Let's see, a sword staff. A sword staff might be quite fun, but as you can see, swing cutting damage is only 33. Sword staff sounds pretty cool, though, doesn't it? Where's the Manavlion? Ah, there it is. There's the Manavlion. Is this actually much better than this? Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot better for my purposes. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to just have a look at the handles as well, because I want something around 150. 150 length is usually a really good compromise, which is hilariously enough the pine spear staff, which I'm not a big fan of. Gonna go for the short pine shaft. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, yeah, so we'll go for that, and we'll make it even smaller. And is there anything else that I can actually put on here? Yeah, I can put some of these banners and stuff. Does this actually do anything? Why? Okay, the question is, this is so weird. Why does this increase its length? You see that? Why does it increase its length? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't know, maybe that's just me being weird or something, but whatever the case, I'm gonna just literally go for the highest tier 1. Thrust attacks can dismount riders. This is 38 cutting damage. Is that actually good? I don't know. Is it? I don't even know. I don't even know whether it's good. Okay, well, we're just gonna make it as small as possible right here. And what else is this thing? What is this? This is the pommel. So what does the pommel do? The pommel literally just changes how much it costs to sell. That's very funny. You see the value at the bottom there. That's very amusing. Alright, so yeah, we're probably just going to be doing something like this. It doesn't change its stats at all. That's so weird. Alright, well, yeah, we're just going to call it something really cool now. So I'm going to go for, let's see here. What's a really cool name? Polearms of Slayer's ZZZ. Boom. There we go. No, I'm not going to do that, of course. I'm literally just kidding. We're going to call it something like... I have no idea. Let's do something like Shadow Blade. Pff, really? Are we edgy? Are we edgy? Yes. Let's do it. All right, let's forge it. What did we get? We got a crude one. Well, that's sad. Can we maybe make something a little bit better? Rusty, broken, 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 rusty, crude. Yes. Okay. Can we get some more wood, please? Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more wood, just so that I can make a couple more of these. There we go. There's a normal one that we made. Can I get a fine one, please? Ah, I couldn't get any fine ones. Yeah, of course, because my difficulty was lower, so that was the reason why we were getting so many meh ones. But, oh well, never mind. Let's take a look and see just what kind of stats we are now going to be gifted with when we start using this particular polearm. Maybe it's going to be something good, maybe it's going to be something real trash. Let's hope it's something nice. Okay, so it does 38 cutting damage in comparison to my current weapon, which does 152. But now here's the thing. This may seem... It's a thrown weapon as well? What? Why does it have the thrown specialization on it? Okay, that's kind of weird. Can I actually throw this thing? Really? Okay, you know what? I'm going to go into the town center just purely for the fact that I want to... Oh, no, actually, I'm not, I don't have my actual gear. Okay, fine. I wanted to go into a place where I could test out this particular weapon, but seems like I'm going to have to go into the keep. Maybe into the keep? Maybe that's going to... No, that still gives me my civilian gear. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, that's really annoying. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so we made a weapon at least. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to test it out, unfortunately. Because I'm going to get given my civilian gear every single time. That's rather annoying, isn't it? Anyway, we have now taken this. We've just completely eaten into the Sultanate's territory, and they only have 2 castles remaining. And I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.